Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Carpetania campaign. Last time we embarked on our most ambitious military adventure so far in the campaign with an invasion of initially a triple defensive league to our south, but at the last minute they found a fourth defensive league partner who we had to fight as well, and despite some real close calls and some questionable strategic risks I had to take in order to see victory through, we did ultimately win the war, of course, and we've now conquered an enormous area of territory to our south and our southeast. Now, I was deciding at the end of the last episode whether we call it here and let our men go home and recover, which they probably really need, or if we push our luck a little further and go for some sort of out-of-nowhere war declaration on Editania and Arasica, namely through a claim on Editania we would be getting from our mission for controlling Lobitania, giving us the claim on the Editania province, which includes both of these guys. We also would get a Conqueror statue in Ebita, which is over here, which is fine, I suppose, not an amazing place for it, but we have no control over that. And this would then allow us to get the PI from getting the Editania province, which I would want to do anyways. This is the northern edge of the Contestania region, which of course is our home region. So I think in all honesty, if we were to do this war, this would just leave the Cartubayan territory left to take, which would require a pretty large war against Cartubaya, which would mostly be about expanding southward. So this would be a nice place to be to leave things off at. We would also need to actually fight Hemeroscopeon, which is the Greek colony over here. We don't actually have a claim on them at the moment, and I might wait to get the claim on them from the War Council in a few years, or I might just fabricate a claim on them on my own volition. We shall see exactly what we do. But I think with my current forces here, right, we've got about 4K forces. We know that the Editanian forces is about 2K, and the Arce forces should also be about 2K. I don't think those mercenaries are hired by Arsica. It's a little bit hard to see here, or a little bit hard to tell here because of the way the UI works, but their flag is not the right color. Let's see here, Uxantides mercenaries. Let's check the mercenary list here. Uxantides mercenaries. Here it is. So these guys are available for hire if we needed to hire them. So they're not hired by Arsica. They could become hired by Arsica upon the war declaration, but we'll just deal with it if it comes to it. So we're looking at roughly a 2K enemy here. So we should be fine with our numbers, even without the mercenary force. I think I kind of want to just go for it. I want to... This double defensive league is a nice target because the war would only be within the region. They would not call in anybody outside the region. And I could declare on either one of them once I get the claim. It may make sense to declare on Editania, as their capital will be easier to take than this double fortified Arsica capital. In fact, I may have some problems without more forces to do the Arsica capital siege. That could present a problem. Definitely present a problem. I also just lowered army maintenance. Let me do it like this. I'm going to try to cut things down the middle here because I do need to recover from that first war. Although I do have plenty of manpower, and I wouldn't be re-raising into a larger levy size. My morale didn't fully reduce. Let me go for this. Let me go for this, yeah. Let me go for this. I can always hire mercs if absolutely needed. So let me go ahead and do this in the right order. So let me first attend to this. Plenty of tyranny room here, so let's just get this all over with. Alright, just powering through. Now let's not forget that I want to use this money to build cities, but I may need to use some of this money to hire mercenaries, maybe. We shall see. Got some valuable prisoners here. Is that everybody? Nope, missed a few. Alright, now that's everybody. Tyranny is under control. Okay. Very good. Alright, and I guess the question would be, if I'm going to build the 2 cities, I could get settled Carpetania. What would this require? No free building slots. I mean, the thing is, right? Getting to this would require... The hardest part of this chain is actually getting the no free building slots. That's a lot of money on buildings, which I may not really have. The permanent modifier here for Carpetania, though, is really nice for my capital province. Let's grab this now. Control Lobotania. Now I got the claim. Could I even build a city? No, I need more money because I'm a tribe. This just may not be feasible while I'm still a tribe. But that doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily finish the mission once I get Editania. Let me wait and see on that. Also, I think we can now grab... I could grab this. I probably do want to grab that to slow down my stability loss. Yeah, especially because I can't actually build a city here. So let me do Divine Sacrifice. Offering up... Actually, I read this before. Alright, good. We got some more treasures, by the way. Very nice. Okay. Now the question is, do I just go for it? I kind of want to. What I could do is have my forces stand here and recover for a couple months just to gain their manpower back. I think that's probably the way to do it. So I'll proceed from here with my forces, but still give them a chance to recover. So in the meantime, while they're getting set up here, let me just scan for buildings, farming settlement for olives. I'll probably keep provincial legation for these guys here. I'll get some money from that. Farming settlement for horses. No, that's a slave estate. I think I want Laminium to be my capital down here. It's the right distance from Egalesta, and it is... it's a little close to Aretum, but I think I said before that Dunites might be the capital over here. No. Maybe Carcubium? Carcubium would be the right distance from Laminium, and it would also be the right distance from Toletum, and it's in a pretty good location as well. Either way, I think down here, do I keep the Auratum fort? It's in a good strategic location at the moment. I could move the capital to Carcubium and then build the fort there. Then I'd be spending money, but I do have a lot of money to spend. Might be worth it to just get it settled. Actually, I think I said before that Satulicia is the better spot. It's the right distance from Toletum. It's a little far from Laminium. No, actually, it still connects up. So, yeah, I'm not going to touch this because I'll be moving it later. This I can't do anything with because it's just the one. Mine for base metals, that's good. A farm for sheep. Alright. I think Laminium's the right spot. I could move the fort from Mentessa to Laminium, which I think I do want to do. Now the other issue, though, is that Laminium is not on the river. So we're missing out on the river bonus. But it's in a better spot, I think, and it's nice because of the, it lines up with the mountain well, it lines up with the border down here. Not being on the river is a shame, but I don't have a better spot positioning-wise that is on the river. I guess Alaba, but that's in Carpetania, so never mind. I guess Adminum would be technically a bit better. Is this on the river? No, I think this is fine. The river bonus is only... actually, the river bonus doesn't exist in all of these spots. Some of these spots don't count as being on the river. Like Adminum doesn't count as being on the river despite being on the river. So I think Laminium's fine. So let's go ahead and destroy the fort here. Yeah, I could wait for this war to be done. I think I'm going to be greedy and just go for it. Let me trade in stone for just a quick sec. Let me cancel my gold trade. A little risky, because people may not trade with me. No, they will definitely trade with me again. Let me get my stone trade going. Trade with the Gauls. That looks good. Now we got stone. Let's build a fort over here at Laminium, permanent capital location for Lobotania. And then over here, Contestania, actually almost entirely, we just need the section from Hemeroscopeon. Let's see. This is going to be really tough to plan around. Actually, we also need Homero Scopeon through this over here. We probably want to fight these guys at some point. I just don't have a claim on them. I'll need to get a claim on them one way or another. Oh, they're in a... Never mind. They're in a giant Greek defensive league. This would be just a... With Massilia, too. Yeah, this would be a nightmare to deal with. Yeah, okay, these guys are out of my touch... out of my range to touch for now. I don't know why I said it like that. They're out of my touch. So it sounds so romantic when I say it like that. You're out of my touch to be conquered by Carpetania. Alright, what am I doing down here? Let's see. The actual location of Homero Scopeon is okay. But planning around where the city would be down here, I'd probably want a coastal city, I would assume. Hills would be okay. I'd prefer plains, though, if I could help it. And this isn't a nice location. And it would also have existing city population, which I would then have to deal with, though. Is it a pirate haven, though? Hold on. If it were a pirate haven. State-owned farmlands permanently, though, is kind of nice. That is actually kind of nice. That might be... That might tip the balance, in all honesty. Where's my pirate haven map mode? No, it's not this. Forts? No. Oh, here it was. It's barbarians. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing over here. Actually, Mago's a pirate haven. Interesting. I think I probably want to have this be the capital of this province then, ultimately. Which means over here, having a more inland capital might be fine. Given that over here the capital would probably be Arce, which is the right distance from this spot, that would make sense. Arce is a bit far from Baía Desolata, but we do have the mountains here, so it does actually create a fort wall through the mountains. And then this is all internal, so that would be fine. So if Arce is the capital here, and this is the capital here, over here, capital would probably want to be at maybe... Ad Palem might be the right spot. It's kind of an odd spot for capital. Plains, what do we have? Olives? Ad Palem. It's just, all this territory here is kind of flat. I'd rather have a plains capital than a hills capital. I mean, it's also the right distance away from Laminium. Okay, I think Ad Palem wins. Alright, this is fine. Also, let me check and see here. What do we have? Conversion is good. Alright, let me move the capital, although we're going to conquer territory as well. That's unfortunate. I'm scared about this stupid game moving the capital over here, even with Ad Palem being selected. I think it looks at the population to determine that, so it's 4 and 4. I could move population to Ad Palem to secure things. Let me just leave it at... Well, I want to build the... Let me do it because I want to build the fort. Let me move the capital to Ad Palem. I'm risking it all for the micro. You know how it is. Build the fort, and then we're going to destroy the fort here and destroy the fort here. And then let's also check and see for buildings that I want to keep. I'm going to keep that building for sure. Alright, down here, what do we have? Farming settlement for fish is probably fine. This port, this is currently our only port in the area, but I don't think I actually need this port right now, so let's get rid of that. Tribal settlement can go. Alright, that is fine. Now with our remaining money, since I'm probably not going to go for the city plan, because cities are just too expensive as a tribe, I think I'm going to focus instead on continually trying to get Toletum up to that 40 civ level I need. I need 50 central, or yeah, 40 civ level, that's right. So we're getting centralization anyways. Let me build more academies. Let me build one more academy at the least. I can build another one in a few months. Or I buy mercs. Or I have the money free in case I need to buy mercs. Let me do it like that. Alright. And the fort situation down here is now a little bit precarious, but we're going to just cross our fingers and toes we can get away with this. This is some dicey maneuvering here. All right, let's resume. I'm not gonna give these guys access to move through me. It's not happening. Although, actually, if I let them do that, they might conquer these guys, and then I could take this. No, then I'm relying on the AI to do something actually correctly. How are these guys fighting this guy, but not the defensive league that he's in? How did this come to be? Maybe I do give these guys access so they can finish this war, but can they even siege this with their numbers? I don't know if they can. I'm almost not sure if I can siege them. No, once I recover, I should be okay. Let's just get everyone here, 30th of January, and take stock of the situation. Alright, everyone be sure to be attached. And everyone come over here and just recover here. Alright, in the meantime, I don't think I will need fort maintenance at the moment. That saves me a lot of money. Just to swing around. Also, how's my family doing? Both my sons are now 18, and they both, being twins, grew the same giant mustache, so that's very fun. Brito Marius, 4114. Oh boy, it's proud. And then Madagascar, loving, good-natured, and cautious, 2184. Maybe having Bracusa become my first king and securing his kids as the next rulers is not exactly what I super-duper want to have happen, actually. Having Bracusa actually die and then a different tribal chief take over and start the line over there. Yeah, this is already looking a bit more promising. What about my other chiefs? I don't know who would become the new... Actually, I do know who would become the new chief. I can just look at the succession here. It would be Karasuna, interestingly enough. She'd be a solid replacement. She's also a bit younger than Bracusa, I think. Yeah, she's a little bit younger. So her son would be Dumno Coeros. Does she have twins as well? What's up with all these twins in Carpetania? These guys would both be okay, I think. Alright, we'll see. Whew. Let's just get up here, recover as best we can, and see what we can do. Like this. Alright, this is all fine. This should arguably be on conversion, actually. Yeah, let me switch it to conversion. Yeah, this is all fine. Alright. What's my research looking? 0.5. Not very good. That could be worse. Carthage wants my horses. Yes, please. I will trade with Carthage. How's Carthage feeling about me? Oh, Carthage is being killed by Massilia? Carthage, come on. You can do better than that. What are they up to? They don't like me so much because of my AE. Yeah. I don't blame them. They're about to like me even less after this happens. Alright. Let's continue recovering. We're also getting our food back as well. Let's go into reorganization mode for a few months. Just focus on recovery. Etruria wants my horses as well. Alright. I wonder if I can join this war somehow. No, I have to be a larger power than that. I don't think they can actually take this place and win the war is the issue. I'm gonna retake this. Right, we'll just deal with these guys later. Not too much that can be done. That's my score looking. We are number 22, okay. It's about where we were last time. And our forces are getting nicely regathered. May as well draw off my manpower to the fullest extent. I just remembered I'm still trading for stone. Whoops. In fact, do I want to change? I probably do want to change my trades. Let me cancel, because I can reach more people now. Let me cancel the spices. I do want the sheep. What else do I want? Kind of want the dates. The commerce income bonus is crazy. Also, the monthly food wouldn't be the worst. Now that we're not in winter, though, it's not as big of a deal. Fruit for the loyalty can be nice, but I don't have any loyalty problems. I think I want to keep the marble because it's worth quite a bit, and I get the tyranny bonus from it. Let's see. Getting citizen happiness, though, wouldn't be the worst to help with my loyalty problems. Heavy cav discipline would actually be quite nice for my army composition. It might be worth it to get double horse. It might be worth it. But then again, let me go for double dates with Massalia and Carpetania. We'll trade from Jedi. All right, very fun. And then we'll trade in 1 gold for now, I think. I could trade in more marble. No, I think I just want to trade in for value. Or I could trade in cloth surplus. No, not worth it. Actually, I already have 1 gold locally. Let me trade in 1 gold, I think. Let me trade from the Gauls. All right, there we go. That's probably the way to do it. So now we're at 5.06 with army maintenance at full and or levy raise. That's pretty good. We're gonna have a nice recovery period after this, to be sure. All right, things are already looking good there. Do we have occupation wealth? Never mind. Okay. Maybe give it a little bit longer because I want to have a bit more strength. I should have the strength to take on Odyssey now, but it's going to be... I'm going to have to play a bit conservatively here, but this should be fine. Are we recovering still? Or what's the situation? We should be recovering. Doesn't seem like we're recovering very fast. Let me give it 1 more month. Okay. Okay, we are recovering. It's just not happening on the monthly tick. It's a little confusing. Let me wait for them to fully recover. There's no reason to go in without our full strength, especially because I'll need every last man to actually siege down Odyssey. All right. We still have an enormous number of resources that are not exporting because no one wants to trade with me because I'm evil. So, it is what it is, though. Just gotta work with what we have here. I could spend my political influence on one of these, and I might want to get another import route. That might honestly be worth it for 80 PI. Man, I can't believe just how much extra PI I just have. Inspirational neighbor. Our interactions with our neighbor Himero Scopion have shown us how their bureaucracy and administration work, and in what ways it differ to our own. By introducing some of their customs into our own system, we are certain to be able to centralize authority and have more control over our clan chiefs. A group opposing these changes is led by Asacunia Ambona, as it seems she and her followers know how it would affect their authority if the changes were brought into Carpetania. This is the chief of the Ambonii clan. I don't... Actually, I do care, because 15 loyalty would put her down to 27? 26. 26 loyalty, which is too low. I could secure things preemptively. Why is this chief have such bad loyalty? She's arrogant and she's selfish. She also has some health problems, to say the least. Very poor health. This might be fine. I can't tell what I can do. I can probably give her free hands once I do this. She's not leading any forces at the moment, so it's not actually the end of the universe if she does have loyalty problems. Actually, is she leading forces? Let me check before I say that so confidently. Asacunia. No, she is leading one of our cab units. I kind of want the monthly centralization bonus for 5 years. That's worth it. Gold in the PI is fine to lose. Let me go for it. I'm just gonna make her feel better afterwards. We're gonna do a. It's better to ask for an apology than permission type maneuver here. All right. And then you, how would you like to have free hands? She would like that. The corruption will gain quickly, but she's also dying of lung disease and dysentery. So maybe the corruption won't gain fast enough to present any problems. These guys want to cross the land too. No. All right, we are now in the clear. 5K forces ready to go. Okay, let's go for it. Declare the war to take Editania. They're going to call in Arsica. Let's do it. All right, we're going to lower the fort maintenance. This strategy involves not having a fort siege race. All right, you please attach as well. There we go. Okay, we should stack wipe, maybe? It might be a stack wipe, I'm not entirely sure. This should be a very easy victory over here. We're basically going to steal the plan that Homero Scopion may have been cooking up. All right, a bit of thievery in the kitchen, if you know what I mean. All right, let's just go for it and see how this goes. This could go poorly, but it hopefully won't go poorly. That is the kind of optimism we need to have. Academy and Toletum is done. Very nice. Wait. Oh yeah, there's the sack wipe. Good. Okay. Very glad I didn't hire any mercs for this. That would have been a bit of a waste. Okay, so I am not going to do any assaults. I don't have basically any infantry at all. Yeah, this composition situation is getting a little out of hand. Someone made a great comment on one of my previous videos that I might want to strategically integrate a population to get a better levy composition, but I really would prefer to just assimilate everyone to be Carpetanian. Where's my levy explanation? Here it is. 30% is just not very much. It is what it is. This is part of the challenge. Our army is strong in many circumstances, but sieging is not a strength of our composition, to say the least. All right, let's just get the siege going and let things progress. No assaults. We're just going to try to keep our full strength here. It's going to be just a slow siege and then siege situation. I think we need 4K to siege Arce, so I may as well just keep everybody here. Ooh, we have our first military tradition ready to go. Excellent. All right, so like I said before, getting the levy size multiplier from all able-bodied people is very strong, especially because when we change from a tribe to a monarchy, we're going to lose some of our good levy size from being a tribe. Not to mention, national fort infrastructure capacity is a crazy economic modifier. Just think about this. Every single province in my nation is going to have its own infrastructure capacity, and this boosting it everywhere means we can have so many more forts with so much less of an extra expense. So, also constant battles for the war exhaustion reduction is actually kind of nice, and the experience decay reduction. Shaped by endemic warfare, the Iberian cultures extol independence and fighting for self-rule. Constant battle it is. Now, some of these are also really good, but open power 10% is crazy. Constant battle, though, is what we're going to go for first. Very nice. And that is a good reflection of what our military experience has been so far. All right. Now, will these guys bring in anyone unexpected? Doesn't seem like it. I think we're fine. These guys being in that big defensive league presents a problem. I don't have any idea, honestly, how I'm going to deal with that. You know what? Let us raise the fort maintenance, because we've got an invasion by Arsica. They might be able to siege us with 1K. I don't remember. I think you need 2K, though, in this mod. Actually, I can't believe I don't remember how much you need. I think it was 2K. I guess we'll see what they get up to. But I need to have some garrison strength either way. Bracusa Carosus is truly a kind soul. If there is any way to assist another citizen, Bracusa will be the one to do it. He gains kindly. What do we have here? Freeman output, national effect, and then cohort loyalty gain chance. That is fine. That is fine. Okay. Oh, someone offered a trade, then they withdrew their offer. Nice and quickly there. Love that. All right. Let's poor levy has been raised for like 5 years or something crazy. Just can't catch a break. But nope. The workers need a bountiful harvest. Word has arrived that this year's harvest was exceptionally good in the... Oh, you know what? I just noticed we have a problem here. In the territory of Carpetania, which is in Carpetania, that is the spot here. Whilst the merchants may be holding their heads in their hands, the people rejoice at the plummeting price of bread. I would like the 3 stability right now. The people should rejoice. Alright, I'm going to leave a skeleton crew, and everybody else is going to probably retake, if not actually defend Ad Palem. And probably kill this army. Okay, they're going to actually run away. That's actually interesting that the AI reacts to my move in that way. Let me see if I can... Ooh, you know, that's interesting. Okay. You know what I might do, actually? Let me do it like this. Let me leave behind... Let me leave behind 2K. This is, let's see. There we go. Okay. Now we can just about maintain the siege. And these guys are still going to go for it. That's fine. This force should be more than sufficient to defeat this force. They may take Ad Palem before I get there, but we can just retake it. Or they're actually just going to walk right through. Okay, interesting. Alright, well, I'll push them away from Ad Palem. You know what? I actually don't need fort maintenance because I'm keeping this under control. Famous last words, I know. Finish dessert. Alright, now we're going to catch them over here in the hills. We're going to get there right the day after, so that's fine. This should be no problem at all. We've got the heavy cav defeat light infantry, no problem, so this should be fine. Probably not a stack wipe, but at least a win. Oh, it was a stack wipe, okay. Well, I'll take it. We'll get our recovery on the way back up. We may actually just go straight to Odyssey after that. Okay. Well, pretty good stuff. We got 5 nobles now, very nice. Fort infrastructure capacity is a little overstretched over here. But we'll get that attended to sooner or later. Rome wants my base metals. Okay. Rome's doing pretty well. We're about 20 years in, a little under 20 years in. Yeah, 20 years. They're under Quintus Julianus. I'll trade with them. I probably want to focus on being friendly with Carthage more than Rome at the moment, but I don't want to be unfriendly with Rome. Being friendly with them is completely fine. Catch everybody. There it is. Siege of Edessa is 1. Head on over here and let's see what we can do. Probably not. We're just going to have to siege this very slowly, but we can at least get it under siege. Okay. Marseille's under siege. Okay, good. Just get it going. Even with the port open as well, it's going to be even more slow going. Alright, they may come blockade me, but I guess we'll see what they do. I need 35, right? Yeah. 30, not 35. Okay. That's my Civ level looking 20. It's progressing slowly. I shall see. I will sell to whoever's buying, honestly. I'm not going to be too picky. With my AE, I'm about to get even more AE. I'm guessing this is going to be like a 10 AE piece deal. I'm worried it's going to be more than that, but it should be a breach over here. Hell yeah, alright. I don't have anywhere near the infantry. I've only got 1k infantry. I'm not doing an assault with 1k infantry against 921 garrison. It's just going to waste my time. But the breach will speed up the siege, which is certainly nice. So I will take it. Alright, I think this was a nice little moment to go for this while they were isolated. Trying to avoid spilling wars into other regions and when possible is nice. Also, Wascania, I think, won the war against these guys. I'm not entirely sure what happened over here. They're actually fighting again. They should win that war just fine. Should not be a problem. Yeah, our like war economy situation is in really good shape here. Even with full army levy, or I mean full army maintenance going and my levy raised, we're still at nearly 5 per month in the green. That's pretty good. The nice thing with a commerce economy is that with your levy rate, I mean, I don't know how much I've like really talked about the theory crafting of this, but the reason I tend to prefer commerce economies is that they favor more aggressive playstyle, in my opinion, as commerce economies are mostly grown either through conquering new territory with new resources you can add to the commerce economy, and you're able to reach more people to import into your commerce economy, and because you also conquer population, which you can use as slaves to get more copies of resources, which again strengthens your commerce economy, and because although exporting goods to people requires them to agree to buy from you, which may be tough when you have a lot of AE, at the end of the day, a commerce economy, unlike a tax economy, is able to basically proceed at full strength, even with your levy raised. And I prefer to go for a levy strategy than a legion strategy. And keep in mind that the legion strategy still uses your population. Where we have war. Yeah, I can't blame these guys. Long periods of conflict can have a significant effect on soldiers, and the weariness of our own troops is growing day by day. The forces commanded by Carpetania or Odessa are taking the situation particularly badly, grumbling and cursing, with fights breaking out regularly. Perhaps there's something we can do to help. I have got the popularity. This would be fine. This money would be okay. Loyalty for my chief here would be alright. I think losing the popularity is the least severe issue, and getting the discipline and morale recovery bonuses certainly isn't a problem. Remind them what happens to disloyal troops. A little bit of a decimation wouldn't be bad. By the way, if you didn't know this, the word decimation and all the variants of it come from Latin, where the idea of decimation, or I said that like it was French, decimation, or however you'd say it in Latin, classical Latin, is in reference to the root word for 10, because a decimation of a cohort or whatever company in the Roman legion was to punish the group collectively for one guy in the group doing something wrong or breaking the law. Because keep in mind, from the point of view of the Romans, like making mistakes in the military was a breach of Roman law, right? And so to punish the cohort for allowing one person to do something wrong, if I remember correctly, the way they would do this was they would basically line up all of the men in the cohort, and then they would basically count to 10, and then the 10th man they would just kill, even if it wasn't anyone who did anything wrong, in order to punish the group collectively, in order to ensure that the group self-policed to ensure that they wouldn't be subjected to decimation. But decimation was kind of like it wasn't the first thing they would do, because obviously this would kill a 10th of their soldiers if they did this in response to every infraction. So it was one of those things where it was more of the threat of decimation that kept the soldiers from doing anything funny. Which, if you think about it, right, if you think about the ancient world, a lot of the trouble that states in the ancient world had was that having a professional army of good fighting men presented a problem, because then you've got a wild card that you may not be able to control. And so the Romans certainly seem like barbaric and evil to us by modern day standards, but a lot of what they did in terms of how they managed their legions, and in many ways actually managed their society, was because they basically didn't know how else to keep their very powerful and well-organized legion from being a dangerous force outside of their control, if that makes sense. Or we're going to have possibly a bit of a siege race problem here. Let's just hope that we get some good rolls here. I'm not going to re-raise fort maintenance. Anyways, not to kind of say all this to, justify the way the Romans did things, which obviously by modern standards are difficult to justify. But, that context is interesting, right? The Romans were dealing with a situation where, not just with their army, but in their entire society, right? It's hard to imagine by modern standard, with a modern mind, living in a world where, is it 1K or 2K? We're going to find out here in a moment. It's 2K, that's good. it's hard to imagine living in a world without mass communication. But, you know, in the modern day, you can just, you know, call someone or text someone or email someone on the other side of the planet, and it's not really a big deal. But even like 100 years ago, communicating with someone who lived a couple miles away required, I mean, I guess at that point there were still like telephones and telegraphs, but, or at least telegraph lines. I'm not sure about telephone lines in the 1920s, but like, you know, going back into the ancient age, even like transporting like letters long distance was kind of a big deal. So anyways, I always think that, you know, when people think back on ancient times, it's important to think about the context of what the world was like, you know, in an age before basically any technology at all, any like modern technology. Anyways, Aesacunia Ambona died of dysentery. All right, rest in peace, Aesacunia. Who's the new clan chief? Anyone I should be concerned about? Okay, I lost my martial researcher, so that person presumably became the new clan chief. We could put Dewey Kiakos Tutamalis as the new researcher, which I probably want to do because this guy is a scholar. Which means I now need to get the Scorned family attended to. All right, who can I replace? Everyone here has such good statesmanship. I don't really want to replace anybody, but you I can probably. Oratory would be fine. Let's switch out my civic advancer. Here we go. Wait, hold on. Yeah. 7 finesse instead of 8 finesse, but otherwise no traits. This is fine. Alright, Kona Ambona is going to be my new civic researcher. Alright. This is fine. But yeah, I think it's just like interesting, you know, putting aside the kind of ethical questions, to think about the ancient age when people just didn't have modern technologies we really take for granted. Like, it's just the kind of mental shift that happens when you've got mass communication and mass media is enormous. It's just really hard to kind of put yourself in the shoes of an ancient people with the way that they viewed the world and the decisions they made. Like when you read, you know, books that were written by Romans about Roman society and like what everyone did, it can be kind of hard to think of like, why did they do this? Like, why did they do things like this? But it's just, you know, to live in a world where your entire view of how everything works is based on these kind of religious ideas and these assumptions about how everything works, you know, and there's not really like a culture of like the scientific method. There are certainly like smart people that engage in the practice of science, but it's like an old like proto version where the sorts of ways in which regular people could engage with critical thinking are just not there in that society. Popular support. The war effort is taking a heavy toll upon Carpetania, yet our people rally behind Totia Carusa, trusting in her superb logistical skills. Or she's the war chief. Even in these trying times, the Carpetanian spirit shows its superiority. Losing 5 war exhaustion is actually kind of crazy. That's a pretty good event. All right, the Arce siege is, as expected, taking a very, very long time. But oh, these guys are arriving. Too late. I got here first. Ha. Sucks to suck, I guess. You snooze, you lose. I can't do anything. This is my siege. All right, come on. 42% progression. Let's just see it. There it is. All right, 416 days. Holy moly, that was miserable. All right. What are we going to be dealing with here? Okay, 6 AE is less than I was expecting, and I will take that for sure. It's going to put us back up to about 33 AE. Maybe 34, technically. All right, Editania to Carpetania. Our second Editania to Carpetania. This is going to be 2 more sets of people I can sell off as well for additional money. Very nice. Okay. All right. Prison their leaders. The Iberian local power of Editania accepts a generous peace offer, which we read earlier. Very good. Now we can lower the levy down to just 8 levies. I think because of our people promoting up out of tribesmen. I think that's the reason. I'm not entirely sure why, honestly. But, okay. Let a day go by. Okay. Over here, let's see. Capital has been set to Arce, which I think is the right spot for it. Yeah, because of the... Actually, do I want it to be at Arce? Probably I do. Yeah, I think I do. Over here... even with wrong culture group, wrong religion, it's only minus 0.09 provincial loyalty. This is really quite impressive. Religious conversion first, definitely. I think having all these buildings here is actually fine. I don't know if I need the double fortress, though. Let me cut it down to just one fortress and destroy the fort at Carpetania as well. As for the rest of this territory, tribal settlement can go. What else? Farming settlement for grain, I'm going to keep that. Slave estate, I'll get rid of that for now. Farming settlement for olives, I'll keep. All the farming settlements I'll probably keep in most cases, yeah. Okay, very nice. And yeah, so this actually does create a fort line like this to the mountain. So we are protected from the northeast, which is great. Okay, very good. Now we can go ahead, reduce army maintenance, and progress. All right, Carpetania has grown substantially. These guys are probably a little concerned about what's going on, but I don't have a claim on them, so I can't do much about them right now. All right, let's go ahead and get the 15 PI, acquire Carpetania. Now, the question is, do I even try to do this? The problem is that, well, okay, first let me sell off in order to see exactly what my total amounts of money are. Release you, sell you, I'll sell you, sell you, release you. Should be everybody. Okay. So here's the thing. I think in the next recovery period, which is probably going to be until 75, I can probably get at least one city building going. I mean, I could get one going now, and I can get a second one going, which gives me this one. So that's a 20-year bonus for Toletum, which is certainly not bad. However, what I really want is this. And in order to get this mission, importing these goods is the easiest thing in the universe. The tricky part is develop Carpetania. Having no free building slots in any of the three cities is going to be extremely expensive. I mean, Toletum, as it stands, already has 2 more building slots. I mean, maybe with just, you know, I just don't have the economy right now to facilitate getting that much money passively. I would need to do more wars, and then I'm still like stuck in this mission where I'm not getting any more claims. So I think while it's nice that it picked Carpetania as the place for this, I just don't think this is going to make sense with the way my economy works right now. As this is just a bottleneck I'm not going to be able to get past in a reasonable amount of time. I want to finish this mission and see what else I can get, probably other missions for other regions. Let's go ahead and finish the matter of Carpetania. We basically control the region, except for the part controlled by Cartubaya, which we actually don't even have a claim on, I don't think. No, we don't. So that's fine. They can hold on to it for me for now. Let's finish the mission. Matter of Carpetania. Okay, so next up we could do the matter of Terra Kinesis, or Pearl of Carpetania. This one is certainly interesting. My concern is that it may require more construction work than I really have the economy to support right now. But this would be a nice thing to line up with our recovery period. On the other hand, Terra Kinesis is a solid direction to go in, as going south means fighting Carthage. Well, first it means fighting Cartubaya, who is a pretty serious opponent, but then it also means inevitably fighting Carthage, which I'm just not prepared to do. So I think Baetica is a little off the table right now. Galatia and Lusitania are both kind of in weird directions. I think going northeastward to secure Terra Kinesis is a solid option. And this is also mostly controlled by nations that are strong, you know, like Wasconia, or if they're still around soon, Sorobonia, but still feasible opponents. These guys do have almost 100 Wasconians. Whew, I only have 85 Carpetanians. Yikes. I mean, I'll have to make use of mercenaries either way. But this also gets me up to the very defensible Pyrenees border. Yeah. And I could end off the Terra Kinesis stuff with a war against the Greek Colony Defensive League, which would include both Emporion and these guys here to kind of wrap that up. And then I'd have to go and invade Massilia and some other people as well. So that could be good. My concern, because the thing is, like, Pearl of Contestania feels like a better thing to do while I've got the need for a recovery period. My concern is that I just don't have the economy yet to really accomplish this. But I think the other way to look at this here is that I don't want to overextend myself. Not because I'm in immediate danger and I need to have everything, but I think as my population continues to promote out of tribesmen and I'm losing levy strength, I need to focus on converting and assimilating, right? Like I've conquered a lot of territory in the first 20 years here, and I need to kind of slow down and focus in on strengthening the territory that I have. As I'm worried that if I go for Terrakinesis and I conquer all this stuff, it's just going to become a little overwhelming to manage, and it's a tough call. I could go either way on this, honestly. Wasconia is completely isolated right now. They're winning this war, and I may want to wait for them to finish that war. But they're well, no, they're not isolated. They've got their ally in the north. These guys are still in that giant defensive league. This other thing too is, are there actually like good targets? This triple defensive league might be a solid target, but it would still be an investment. These guys are in the Sorbonia war as well. Susitania. Man. I mean, I've got a pretty solid economy so far. Like, I've got the good foundations of something. Strengthening Contestania would be something I want to do. And I'm worried that if I don't do this now, after I finish Matter of Terrakinesis, I won't get this one, because it's just kind of random which ones you get. And I think I'll be able to get Matter of Terrakinesis anyways. I think because there's not really any obvious targets, and because I might get a claim from, well, not might, I will get a claim from my War Council in a few months anyways. Let me go for Pearl of Contestania. But then I'm also thinking about, in the Rome campaign, I remember specifically complaining that the Pearl of missions were kind of bad, and I was mad that I went for it. I mean, it's both about strengthening my economy and giving myself time to convert and assimilate this territory to become stronger for me. I need a larger Contestanian levy in order to... Yeah, because if I just expand northward, I'm just conquering land that I then won't be able to make any use of at the moment. And I do need to recover. My AE has been really high. All right, let me give this a try. Pearl of Contestania. Contestania is our home as well as the center of our country. We must grow the economy of our home region and renovate the capital itself to make it the shining center of civilization that it deserves to be. One nice thing about this is that this may give me better civ level in Toletum to get the Hillfort Initiative decision done. This mission will deal with developing the region of Contestania, including embellishing our capital at Toletum, increasing the food supply, developing local mining and prospecting for new deposits, and developing maritime trade. All right, let's see what we got here. Mines of Contestania. We need to have mines in these 3 spots, which will give them slave output bonuses forever. All right, I've got those 3 available, so that's a good start. This would require 600 gold. This gives me 9 slaves, and I have to be producing a bunch of things over there, okay, and have cities. I have to have a city at, hold on. How is this phrased? Producer imports, capital. This would require Acre Luque to be the capital. Oh, that's what I remember about not liking about this mission. Okay, 400 for this. What's this? Farming settlements in all of the food-producing locations. Okay, what's this? 3... Okay, we actually already had that part, the 3 ports. All the port territories have city status and are fortified. Okay. Yeah, this is just a ton of money. This would actually be crazy. 10% local civ level into Toletum would be really good. And the other bonuses too. And 2 nobles. I mean, these are certainly strong missions, but I need to really focus in on my economy to pull this off. Well, I do have some money saved up, so I can start reinvesting. What I also probably need to do is start doing some slave micro. It's about that time. I haven't done it yet in this campaign, but I got a lot of slaves scattered all over the place, and I need to start concentrating them in my farming settlements. Okay, first things first. This fort here can probably go now. In fact, it probably could have gone earlier, so let me go ahead and get rid of this fort here. And then this fort here, I'll need for... Yeah, I'll need this to protect my area for now, even though it's not going to be a permanent fort location. Alright, we do already have... Let me do it like this, actually. No, not like that. Show me my resources. Alright, we got precious metals in Tuletum. Anything else that's really valuable that I can get from mines? These are all stone mines. I do need to do all this, though, ultimately. I think the fruits one is probably going to be the easiest, because this stuff... Well, I could sell stone, too. I mean, Akraluka could be an okay capital location, I suppose. Capital of the province. What does this require? 600 gold, Akraluka. The way this is phrased makes it look like is to produce or import grain, produce or import livestock and vegetables. No, one of the following must be true. So it seems like one of the following is true, but the thing is X'd out. This mission always confused me. Or all these need to be true? Or is this a sub-requirement of the olives one, or how does this work exactly? The way it's like listed makes it look like the capital and city requirements are... Oh wait, hold on. One of the following must be true. Okay, so has to have 600 gold. Okay, that part I understand. This requires either... So if I'm reading this right, this requires one of the following. Either produces or imports wood, which it does, or produces or imports olives and also is the capital and city. Like, that's the way that I read, because this is like a subcategory. But it's still marked as an X, even though one of these things are true. Or I guess actually, hold on. Maybe this X is showing because this section and this section are both not complete, but hold on, one of these things are true. Produces or imports fish, so which is it? Is it true or not true? This is just so confusing. I can't tell if this is required or not. Alright, I mean, I haven't moved the capital over here yet, I could do that. I mean, Akraluka is not a bad city location, I don't really feel like this is a worthwhile expenditure. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm remembering why I don't like the Pearl missions. They make you build cities in places where you may not really want there to be cities. I don't understand how this mission requirement works. Produces or imports. I think it's like out of order. The following must be true. I think the way it's like indented is not correct. I can't tell if Akraluka needs to be the capital and be a city in order for this to be otherwise correct. Imports grain, fish, or livestock. Do I have any imports in my other locations, by the way? Let me check that. I do not. Okay. Do I need to get imports here? Is that what I need to do in order for this to work? Like, how does this work? This stupid mission is so confusing. Alright, the polarity stuff is going to require... Let's see. What I would need... Okay, what I should do here is, oddly enough, I'm going to destroy the port up here. Okay, so we've got 3 port locations. Guium, Ibosum, and Mago. I can make all of these cities, and I will need to in order to fortify them. in fact, let me move the capital preemptively to Guium, which is the better permanent capital location. And then I'm going to build the city in Guium. It's expensive, but yeah, probably. The other issue too is that ascending to monarchy requires a mission, so I'll have to back out of Pearl of Contestania in order to do that. I guess I'll do Pearl of Contestania until I can do the reform mission. I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm only at 24.90 centralization. Let's just see what we can do. It's not perfect, but I do want to recover. And if I did the Matter of Turconessus, I'd just be sitting around without a focus on economy. So it is what it is. I can't have it perfectly, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and start building a city over here at Guium. This is most of our money and a lot of our PI, but we got to get this going. Found the city at Guium, which is what I'm going to do anyways. Let's get it going. Yep. Occupation welcomed is nice. Okay, and then from there, I think we're good to go ahead and resume. So we'll need to found another city at Mago as well. And then once we do that, we can build a fort at Guium and a fort at Mago to get this. Then we get a bunch of Carpetanian population that appear there. And this requires markets in all the port. 2 markets per port. Wow, that's a lot of money. But nice modifier for Belarides. I mean, Belarides will be a nice part of my sort of commerce economy once I progress here. And have a foundry in Podientia. And we have to import wood. Foundry's a city building, isn't it? I have to build a city in Podientia for that. Is that required for my mission tree to progress? It's not technically required. I could get 5 free heavy ships. I might skip the shipyards and flagship thing because I don't want to build a city in Podientia that badly. Okay. We've got a lot of work to do to start getting our economy under control, but we are in good shape for hopefully a bit of an economic explosion from here and a development, the development of our economy from here. But either way, that's going to be it for this episode of the Carpetania campaign. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.